Simple diffusion. Simple diffusion. Definition. Movement of molecules from an area of high concentration to an area of low concentration by collision, not using energy. One example that occurs within a specific human cell is oxygen diffuses from the outside of the red blood cell, where there is high concentration, to the inside, where there is low concentration. A list of substances transported in this way are oxygen and carbon dioxide. The outside has low concentration, while the inside has high concentration. The substance moving is oxygen. The oxygen is going to move from high concentration to low concentration. They are now colliding to get to an area of low concentration so they can reach dynamic equilibrium. Facilitated diffusion. Facilitated diffusion. The movement of molecules from an area of high concentration to an area of low concentration by going through protein carriers, which are a form of passive transport. One example that occurs within a specific human cell is glucose goes across the cell membrane of the red blood cell by using facilitated diffusion. A list of substances transported in this way are glucose and potassium. The outside has high concentration, while the inside has low concentration. The glucose is going to go from the outside with high concentration to the inside with low concentration by going through the carrier protein. The glucose is going to collide to go through the carrier protein to get from high concentration to low concentration to reach equilibrium. Osmosis. Osmosis. Definition. Water going through a semi-permeable membrane to get from an area of high concentration of water, which is hypotonic, to low concentration of water, which is hypertonic, until the water is isotonic. One example that occurs within a specific human cell is water moves across the cell membrane of a red blood cell by osmosis. A list of substances transported in this way is water. The inside has high concentration, while the outside has low concentration. The water is going to go through the cell membrane from an area of high concentration to an area of low concentration. The water goes outside of the cell until the inside is isotonic, then the cell will shrink. Sodium-potassium pump. Sodium-potassium pump. Definition. A type of active transport that goes against the concentration gradient using ATP, which is an energy molecule. Only sodium and potassium can get through the sodium-potassium pump. An example that occurs within a specific human cell is, in the neurons, it transports sodium to the outside and potassium to the inside to change the positive and negatives. A list of substances transported in this way are potassium and sodium. The inside has the sodium and the ATP, while the outside has potassium. The sodium is going to go into the transport pump, then the ATP will release a phosphate and become ADP, then the pump will let out the sodium on the outside and the potassium will come into the inside. Pinocytosis. Pinocytosis. Definition. The cell membrane engulfs the extracellular liquid to go into the cell and form a vacuole/vesicle. This type of cellular transport requires ATP. One example that occurs within a specific human cell is the cells around the egg cell contain nutrients that the egg cell needs. The egg cell uses pinocytosis to reach out and get the cells with nutrients into the egg cell. A list of substances transported in this way are enzymes and cellular fluid. There is the egg cell, and on the outside are the nutrients in the cellular fluid. Now the nutrients will go into the cell and create a vacuole. Phagocytosis. Phagocytosis, when the cell membrane engulfs microorganisms and cells debris. One example that occurs within a specific human cell is macrophages use phagocytosis to engulf the dead cells. A list of substances transported in this way are bacteria, debris, and dead cells. There's the macrophage, and on the outside a dead cell will go into the macrophage and create a vacuole. Exocytosis. Exocytosis. Definition. When the contents of the vacuole inside a cell are released to the outside of a cell by the membrane pushing it out. One example that occurs within a specific human cell is enzymes leave pancreatic cells by using exocytosis. A list of substances transported in this way are enzymes and extracellular fluid. Inside the cell is a vacuole that holds an enzyme. Now the enzyme is being released to the outside of the cell.